Yeah. So I started the podcast about 5 years ago, and I've been doing the self-esteem class for about a year. And, there's a little story behind the podcast. So the One Day at a Time podcast is actually my second podcast.
Oh,
I did one on, I was in Silicon Valley and I was doing tech sales. So I worked for companies like HP and Adobe and all that and selling software. So I did one on sales. There was no women in sales doing podcasts at the time. But it was really on my heart to do one on recovery. But because of the 12-step traditions, I was really 11. I was really worried about breaking rules and being ostracized from my community. And I was afraid. So,
yeah.
but the reason I started, it was just something that I couldn't shake. It just kept coming back to me and coming back to me. And I used to attend, I still attend, but when I was living in California, I went to a 6 a.m. meeting called ODAT. It stands for One Day at a Time. And a girlfriend of mine was there at 6 a.m. and she died in a car accident, single car accident, 3 hours later.
Yeah.
And it shook me to my core because she was only a few months older than I am. She and I kind of look alike, and it shook me to my core. And I thought, I have this dream that's on my heart, and it is later than you think. And it's like, I was like, what am I waiting for? Whose approval am I waiting for to do something that felt like a calling? It felt like a calling to share in general about my sobriety, right? And I really did want to respect the traditions. And I kind of started it with sort of this thin veil of, I'm a woman in recovery. I'm sober. And since then, I do talk about 12 steps. I don't directly come right out and say which one or whatever. I don't think I'm fooling anybody, but that's kind of how I sidestepped it. But it just felt more important to try to get the message out there. And it felt more important to listen to the calling on my heart rather than be worried about what other people thought.